I'm here with Cami Walsh at Home Dialysis Services. She's the controller, and I'm gonna ask her a few questions. Cami, if you could talk about a little bit about Home Dialysis Services, about your company.
Sure. Home Dialysis Services, it's a medical company that provides services to our patients, home hemodialysis and peritoneal dialysis. And we are structured as one holding company with about 15 subsidiaries. Recently, we just upgraded our accounting system from QuickBooks to Microsoft Dynamics because of the complicated structure with all these legal entities, all of them having their own tax ID.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about a little bit about the internal controls, principal to cash, like how you guys handle cash, and also about the reconciliation procedures and how do you guys post those. If you could just talk about a little bit about the internal controls.
Sure. We don't accept cash payments from patients because our patients are actually approved only if they have the insurance. Therefore, we are submitting the claims. We are using a third-party billing company, and then they are providing us the payments. When the payments are received, the billing manager opens the mail, and she has access to Chase, to a remote deposit, through the remote deposit capture, and she's making all the deposits. For internal control purposes, we have our senior accountant that is checking on these deposits against a report that's prepared by our billing company, Infian. So therefore, when he's going into the bank, into the Chase bank account and looking and seeing what type of deposits were made there by the billing manager, these are compared against the report from Infian. So it's a bit of control over there. In the case there are any discrepancies, then we will inquire first. He will inquire first with the billing manager, and then maybe even with Infian if by chance the payment hasn't been received.
Yeah. As a controller, do you do some bank reconciliations? If you can talk about your procedures and posting, how do you post?
Sure. I mostly just sign off on the bank reconciliation and help with some of the issues. Yes, some of the errors. What's happening at the end of each month, and for some accounts weekly, we actually have a total of over 50 bank accounts. The bank statement are being downloaded from Chase. I am authorized to go into Chase and download these statements, and so is our senior accountant.
You said you have 50 bank statements?
Yes, 50 bank accounts.
Bank
correct.
accounts?
Yes, 50
okay,
bank
with the
accounts,
same...
so therefore 50 bank statements.
Okay, with the same bank.
So some of them that don't have a lot of activity are only reconciled monthly.
Okay.
And the ones that have a little more activity are reconciled weekly.
Weekly, okay.
Yes, so at the end of the week or at the end of the month, these statements are being downloaded from Chase in Excel. And then we have a bookkeeper that's taking all these statements and is going and doing a bank reconciliation where she reconciles against the GL.
GL means your...
General ledger.
Ledger?
Yes, yeah. The general ledger. Against the cash account of the general ledger. If there are any discrepancies, then she will bring them to my attention or the senior accountant's attention, and we are posting journal entries. One area where we need to post journal entries would be for the bank charges that the bank is charging us. So therefore she's going into the system and posting an entry to the cash account and the bank charges fee expense account. We don't usually have outstanding checks because we are making use of Chase online bill pay. So therefore the account is debited as soon as the payment is issued. However, if there are any cases, like very rarely when we have to write a check and it hasn't cleared yet, then that will be an outstanding item on our reconciliation.
And then deposit in transit you guys don't have because you guys have...
Yes, we don't usually have deposit in transit because we have the remote deposit, and therefore as soon as deposit is received, we deposited it right away.
Okay, and then you guys usually post like the errors you said and
Yeah.
post the service fees
Sure.
to balance with the
Yes,
bank
like every time, like some of the common errors will be, for example, a bill is paid from one account, and
Okay.
in our general ledger system, it shows to be paid from a different account.
Okay.
So therefore, we have to do either some bank transfers or to record that adjustment.
Then the errors are most from different bank accounts, not like when you guys, for example, have another error, like if a check was written wrong or a payment was done wrong, or
If there is ever a situation where maybe we submitted too high of a payment,
correct.
depending of the vendor, sometimes we contact the vendor and let them know, and then they
Okay.
will issue us a credit.
Yeah.
Or there were actually cases when we are just waiting for the credit and we will apply it towards future invoices.
Okay, then you guys don't do an adjustment in your system then?
Yes, we are doing
You
an
do
adjustment
okay.
entry, yes.
Like you guys add it to the GL account or taking it out?
Well, actually what's happening, let's say if the payment was made for a little more than what the check is, then in our system it's just going to show a debit for a credit for a less amount than what really happened on the bank statement.
Yes.
And that the different we just list it as outstanding.
That's great. Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Cami. That's all.
Sure.
Thank you.
If you want, I can show you the system for a second. Kind of like to see our accounting system and how we would do a bank reconciliation. So as I said, we just